It is now Thursday, and that means it is the warmest day of the year. High temperatures today in the upper 40s, perhaps even low 50s across much of South Michigan. Further north, though, we're going to be solidly in the low 40s, especially along the Mount Pleasant area. But further north toward Mackinac and the UP, we're going to be roughly in the mid 30s there. Overall, the warmest day of the year here on our Thursday. With this, though, we do have some gusty winds today. Not too big of a concern, but does concern us just a tad bit. 20 to 30 mile per hour winds here expected across the state. Again, not a huge deal, but does, kind of draw a little bit of concern, at least to mention it to you guys. We could see some toppled trash cans and stuff like that, but no power outages, no tree damage expected. 20 to 30 is a pretty breezy day, really, not really gusty. But 20 to 30 mile per hour winds across the state, centered around late morning, early afternoon time frame. Those will die off here as we go into the future, into the night. So no major concern with the winds. Just wanted to mention it could be a little bit breezy out there for you guys. We do have a system we're tracking here for the Friday tomorrow time frame. Let's go ahead and dive right on into this. We have a couple things to talk about. So, first and foremost, future radar here on the model. We're going to have some snow showers possible this morning in the afternoon up in the eastern part of the UP. Not a big deal for you guys up there, but the attention turns late tonight around midnight or so. We're going to look to the south. We're going to say, hey, we got rain coming in here. It's going to continue overnight into Friday morning, and by the time we get to Friday rush hour to the mid to late morning hours, talking like 9, 10, 11 o'clock, some heavier rain filters in, and then for the afternoon, we're going to see a changeover. This is where things are going to get tricky. We're going to see this change over here roughly around that noon time frame. This is at noon right here. We're going to see solid rain here across much of Michigan, or much of South Michigan, should I say. Some could be moderate at times. But as I move into the afternoon here, here's 1 p.m. We're going to see a change over here to a mix of rain, snow, and perhaps sleet or freezing rain for the 96, perhaps 94 corridors. Going into 2 p.m. here, it changes over to snow. There's 3 p.m., 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 7 p.m., 8 p.m. By 9 or 10 p.m., it's moving out of the state. But the afternoon time frame will be one to watch here for a wintry mix of rain, sleet, perhaps some freezing rain as well, and also some snow accumulations. In terms of accumulations of each, we're not seeing major ice storm potential. A glaze possible in spots for sure. The main concern we're going to have is for slushy, quick snow accumulations, especially around that rush hour time frame, the afternoon commute to be exact. Centered around the US 23, 94, 96 corridors there, any places in south central Michigan, any major highways, especially Detroit Metro, may be impacted by this changeover. Accumulation wise, we're not going to have too high of accumulations. The overall snow totals here on the models are pretty, I'm not going to say light because they do happen quite quickly, so pretty heavy snow does occur, but models are pretty conservative. 1 to 4 inches is really what the expectation here. Now, a lot of this is probably going to melt on contact as well, so really when it kind of boils down to knowing what's going to happen with the temperatures, the ground temperatures, the road temperatures, we're probably going to see 1 to 2 inches of slushy accumulation at most, and mainly probably on grassy areas. So no major accumulation of snow is expected, but could get an inch or two in spots across the areas. Now, in terms of freezing rain, we're not seeing too much in the way of concern for that. Here's the freezing rain accumulation on the model here. We're not really seeing too much of anything, but do want to mention it's a possibility just because we see a brief changeover there. I want to highlight very brief changeover to a mix. Could be sleet, could be freezing rain, but overall just some small concerns, minor concerns for that to happen across South Central Michigan in the mid-afternoon hours. All right, with that being said, going into the future, we have a system we are watching as well for the next week time period, February 6th, around that time frame to be exact. Before I get into that though, I forgot about this slide. Temperatures for the next 7 days or so based out of Lansing. We're going to be mid 40s today. It's a little conservative on the European here. But as we move into the next, or should I say, move into the month of February, we're looking at temperatures pretty well stable in the upper 30s for most of South Central Michigan. Of course, you go further north, you're going to get a little bit cooler, so kind of drop these a few degrees down for places, especially north of Mount Pleasant in the UP. But the overall pattern here of slightly above average continues into the first half of February. The model here is no exception, showing mid to upper 30s throughout the first 5 days of the month. Now we can go into a couple things here. I keep forgetting I have slides pulled up. Before I move on to the future, I do also want to mention our first thunderstorm risk is in place from the SPC. This is the SPC Severe Weather Outlook, but it's not saying severe weather. It does have a risk or a category option, should I say, for just general thunderstorm possibilities. They do highlight Southwest Michigan tonight into tomorrow morning for potential for rumble of thunder with that with the rain moving up from the south. So don't be shocked if you hear a rumble of thunder, especially there near and in the light green shaded areas from South Haven to Benton Harbor to Three Rivers, perhaps Coldwater as well. Just want to mention that. And now we can move on to the future model here. This is the European model, looking at the next couple of days of systems. We're going to see our first moving up for Friday. That's what it looks like here in the European. A lot of rain, change over to snow here for the afternoon. And now we can move into the future here. Looking at a couple of things. Number one, a Clipper system kind of moves through here for our late Saturday, early Sunday time frame. It could give northern portions of the state some snow accumulation. Should be pretty minor in nature. Nothing major is expected. But as we move into the day on Sunday, that kind of spreads southward. Could change again from a lighter snow perhaps to a rain further south solution. So like a split system. That's going to continue into Canada. And then attention turns out to our west here. We could see a developing system around the 5th or 6th of February. This is Wednesday morning, February 5th. And we're seeing a system develop pretty close by here, pretty nearby. That's going to move up into the area. The European model says currently we're expecting a mix of rain, ice, and snow. And it's been pretty consistent with the signal. But again, being about 150 to 160 hours away from this event, shifting is going to occur and model changes will occur. But this has been pretty consistent here to a point where we're kind of raising our eyebrow and say we're going to watch this closer just because this does have some potential to be impactful, whether it's with snow or ice. I think it will be impactful here to Michigan. Again, it's kind of a bold take being this far away, but pretty consistent signal on the models here. We'll track it, and if it continues to trend this way, we'll continue to let you guys know what we're thinking. I'll do daily updates on the system as well. But just want to point out the Wednesday, February 5th to Thursday, February 6th time frame is one to watch for a system that could bring snow, rain, and or some ice to the area. This system does move off into Canada, leaving us within a more rainy period there. As we move into that Thursday into Friday time frame, it exits off to the east. And then a second system develops very quickly and very rapidly for next weekend. Not this weekend, but next weekend. So active pattern here very well continues into the month of February. We're tracking multiple systems, multiple chances of all precipitation. It's going to come down to how cold and how warm we're going to get here in Michigan, and that will dictate what precip we get. So that is your long-term update here. We'll do updates on this daily starting tomorrow. So thank you guys for watching. Before I hop out of here, we're going to shout today's sponsor out. We're going to go Lifestyle Exteriors. Number to call, 989-854-3055. They are based out of the Lansing and Traverse City areas. They do a lot of exterior work on your house. Feel free to give them a call. And thank you to Lifestyle for sponsoring today's Michigan Storm Chasers YouTube video. I will catch you guys tomorrow. You guys stay safe, travel safe, and stay warm out there.